On this episode of The Bourbon Captain, we're going vertical with a fantastic brand from the Beam family. For my money, Knob Creek represents the best that they have, and we're going to put 4 bottles up to see how they compare and what you can be looking for as you invest. So stay tuned. I think you're going to like our show today. I'm a big fan of the Knob Creek family, and today we're going to bring 4 bottles to you. They're 9, 12, and 18-year offerings, and just for shits and giggles, we've got a barrel pick that we're going to toss in that I think you'll like a lot. As a reminder, what we're trying to do on our show is bring to you some comparisons that'll help you spend your bourbon dollars. I don't know what leaves or limestone tastes like, and I'm not going to pretend that you should either. I don't even think that you're going to taste some of the same things that I taste in every bottle. But what we can do is show you some comparisons that help you make good choices in the aisle and build your bourbon collection. If you enjoy what we're doing, please like, subscribe, and drop a note in the comments section to let us know what you might like to see us compare. If there are 3 things I love in this world, it's drinking bourbon, vertical tastings, and in case you're not familiar with the vertical tasting, here's a note from our producers to help you out. Verticals are very fun tastings that allow you to understand the impacts of aging and different environments on the same juice. There's a lot that can be said about Jim Beam and their main distillery in Claremont, Kentucky. You can reliably trace Beam back to the late 1700s, and it's impossible to study Kentucky bourbon history without stepping on every branch of the Jim Beam tree. Jim Beam produces more bourbon by volume than any other distiller if you exclude Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Beam has a variety of their own labels, in addition to Knob Creek, Basil Hayden, Booker's, Baker's, and a number of bottles we call the Olds: Crow, Grandad, Overholt, and Tub. It's a huge offering, but today we're going to focus on my favorite son from the Beam family, Knob Creek. I'm guessing that those of you that have tried Knob Creek probably started with their 9-year offering. It's pretty available, reasonably priced, and that bottle just pops on the shelf. Well, today we're going to be able to see the effects of aging as we climb from 9 years to 12 to 18. While the 9 years are very available, the 12 can be a lot harder to find, and the 18 is almost impossible. So while I was out in Phoenix last year, I found a bottle of 18, and I just had to have it. It was expensive, but hey, who hasn't skipped an electric bill on their bourbon journey? In addition to their age-stated bottles, they also have a 15 and a 21. Knob runs a really strong single barrel program, and you can find those on shelves around the country. We want to make a shout out to our friends at Southern Spirits near Rock Hill, South Carolina. They may be the second best liquor store in the country, but they run a fantastic single barrel program. I was there a while ago and found one called Caramel Churros. A name like that's just about impossible to leave sitting on the barrel head when you're in the store. So you can tell I'm pretty invested in this brand. Sadly, I have not found the budget for the 15 or the 21-year-olds yet, but I'm pretty happy with the 4 that we have. So let's get them in the Glens and make some comparisons to help you out. A quick note about the age-stated bottles. Each of them were put in the bottle at 100 proof. However, they're not bottled in bond, but they did make a choice to bring them each to that level. The one exception to that is our single barrel cask strength. It was put in the barrel at 125.2 and then aged 9.5 years. One more thing. My producer told me I had to apologize for the level of the bottles. I'm not gonna. Shit happens. All right, let's start with the 9-year. A little bit darker that as you would expect from a 9-year-old bourbon. It's I like that Knob does that with their bourbons. They start the flagship a little bit longer in the barrel, and I think it brings the whole brand up. Yeah, that's really good. Knob is known as a very versatile juice. You can put it in cocktails, any number of cocktails, but it also stands up very nice, neat. Something you can serve to your buddies and never be disappointed in. All right, now on to the 12 year. A little bit darker, as we would expect. Very nice aroma. I enjoy that. Wow, that is a superior bourbon. We talked about the 9 going really well in cocktails. The 12, you want this neat. This is something that you can share with anybody. Um, Fantastic bourbon. All right, on to the 18 year. This is exciting. I think the 18-year-old might be the oldest bottle that I own. Nice and dark. We would anticipate that. On the nose, get a good combination of oak and sweet. Um, so that's still a pretty good flavor. Oh wow, that's a bit disappointing. That is a lot of oak, and it's not oak that's blended in a terrific way. I don't think of that as an improvement on the lineup. Um, I think of it more like it might have been the outcome of an oak tree having sex with a gas pump. That's just a lot of oak. Disappointing. All right, and on to our single barrel. Looking very good. If you'll remember, the single barrel comes in at about 125 proof, so a little bit hotter. That comes through on the nose. Still pretty pleasant. Oh, now that's fun. That's tasty. The fun thing about this, when you have a single barrel or a cask strength of another bottle of lesser age or proof, the flavor just bursts. Nice little pop in the mouth.
What did he say?
I like that a lot. A little bit of marketing goes a long way on the single barrel programs. I don't know that I'm going to confuse that with churros, but that's very good. I think that's somewhere in between the 9 and the 12. And for those of you that like proof, that's a really good bottle. In the end, here's our recommendations. The 9 year is a fantastic bottle. It's got a firm hold on my daily drinker list. Always want to have one of those bottles. The 12 year is an absolutely superior bourbon. When you find it, should be around $70, up to $80. Absolutely grab it. Love the 12 year. The single barrels. I think single barrels are fun in so many ways. When you have a brand that you like, experimenting with a single barrel can be a lot of fun. You got to make sure your expectations are set, though. Okay? It can be better or worse than a comparable bottle. You know you're going to have that proof, and so you know there's going to be some kick there. It's not always better, okay? It is always different. And so keep that in mind. I do love this one. This was a good buy for me and glad I picked it up. The 18-year-old, I picked it up for $175, and that was a steal. Unfortunately, it was the wrong kind of steal. They got me on that one. I didn't overpay. MSRP is about $170 on the 18-year-old, but it's not a bottle that I would buy again. It's not a bottle that I would recommend. I'll wrap with one final thought. Knob Creek recently released a 21-year-old age-stated bottle, and they say that they've built upon what they did with the 18. They recognized a few mistakes and improved upon it. I'm very excited to try that. It MSRPs for around $250. I've seen it on the secondary a couple places for $350, and I would really love a taste of that. It's not going to happen on my dime, though. I've already invested my money in the 18-year. But if anybody from Knob Creek happens to be watching this, would love for you to slide into my DMs and let me know how I could possibly get a sample of that. That'd be very appreciated. Plus, this would go a long way towards influencing my entire global viewership to maybe go out and pick up a bottle of the 21. Suntory, this could be huge for you. Thanks for watching our Knob Creek Vertical. I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope you avoid the trap that I fell into. Until next time, enjoy the hunt, spend your money wisely, and don't forget to pay the light bill. This is the Bourbon Captain. Out!